What is up, players? It's Warboss Tay up in this mug doing a little developer diary for my Heroes of Hobbyton minigame. I've got some visual aids in front of me to demonstrate what I'm going to be talking about. And I've got my notes here so that we can go through some of the core systems. I think we've already talked about how the game is going to start by patrons choosing their characters. So the character creation is choose an avatar, male or female. Then you're going to roll 1d6 starting tokens of renown. And the way we're going to roll dice in this game is by using the Dicey app on Discord. So this has nothing to do with Dicey Guy. This Dicey app is actually a little bit different. And it's going to be like /Dicey, and then you choose dice. And then for the maximum value, you choose whatever, either 6, 10, 100, 200, 300. And then it randomly rolls your results. So you get... if you are a patron and you say, I want to take part, I choose a male knight as my avatar. So I would give you a figure. This would represent you. And then anytime I introduce you in the closing cinematics of my videos or the opening cinematics, depending on where I'm going to put them, your avatar is going to be there flashed along with your name. Like, for example, Mr. Sprinkle is going to show up with his figure. Now, if he's got a bunch of tokens of renown, then those are going to be stacked up next to him like this, Mr. Sprinkle. Boosh. And then if he decides to spend his tokens of renown to get some retinue, some bodyguards, if he has some non-combatant retinue, like his character brings along his wife and his sons, then those figures would be shown. All the figures that you would get in your retinue that you spend your tokens of renown on would be in the shot with you, like a family photo. And that is basically the idea. You grow your retinue. You spend time as a patron of Warboss Tay Studios. You acquire more tokens of renown by going on adventures and going on quests, or what I call expeditions, at the first week of every month. And then you grow your party to the point where you can go out and take on a monster or try to recruit a legendary figure. Now, you might have seen Games Workshop has released a roster of the factions for their old world game. So every month, I'm going to be offering one of those figures from each of those armies. So I believe the first army on the list is the Empire of Man and the Orcs and Goblins tribes. So I would be choosing a single figure, like a character, and then I would choose like a larger figure, maybe like a mounted character. And then the third one would be like a war machine or a monster, something big. And then at the beginning of each month, you could decide, oh, I have an Empire army. I want to see if I can get this Empire general on the Griffin. And so that would be what you would go out for with your character and their retinue. The more people you have in your retinue, the more upgraded they are, the more leveled up they are, the higher your chance would be of getting those figures. And like I said, I want it to be challenging. I want this game to last, years and years, and I don't want you to be zapping my bank account ordering all these miniatures. So I'm going to make it very, very hard, like a Dark Souls game. I'm not going to make it so that you on your own can go out and kill all the monsters by yourself. You're going to need a retinue. You're going to need a retinue of upgraded knights and gunners, so that when you take on these challenges and go on these quests, they're beefed up to the point where at the end of the expedition, when you roll to see how they did, village guard are going to be killed off like cannon fodder. They're very, very soft. But as you go up the ranks, the foot soldiers, the knights, the mounted knights, if you get Pegasus knights, all of your figures in your retinue are going to be much harder to kill. And when they complete expeditions, they have a much higher chance of bringing back some tokens of renown to add to your treasury. And so there are very specific mechanics that go into this game. And I'm going to be doing a series of videos overviewing them. But let's just take this first video to talk about character creation. If you're a patron, you want to become a patron, if this sounds interesting to you, then you say, okay, I'll choose a male avatar. I got my knight here. I use the Dicey app on Discord to roll 1d6 for my starting tokens. And let's say this character, and I'll just say I'm making up a new imaginary person called, let's say, Igor. Igor wants to play, so he rolls a 3 on his Dicey app, so he gets 3 tokens of renown. And then Igor would choose a starting perk. And the perks are either the Strut of Destiny, in which case you roll 1d10, or a 10-sided dice, and that's how many Village Guard immediately join you, so you don't have to worry about spending tokens of renown on them. You would also you could also choose between an Amulet of Luck. It's a one-time use artifact, which would give you a plus 10% success rate on any expedition. And it's a one-time use, so once it's gone, it's gone. There's the I'm Going With You perk, which is one non-combatant retinue. So let's say Igor wanted to bring Lewis, who's not a fighter, and he would just be tagging along. So he would say, okay, I'm going to use my perk on bringing Lewis. Your non-combatant retinue members, when they join you, they offer their own perks, which specifically is that the first person to die on an expedition is automatically resurrected or saved. So that's very valuable once you start going up against bigger monsters, and say you lose a Pegasus Knight or a mounted knight in battle, and there's no way to save them once they're gone. So if you have a non-combatant retinue, and even if you fluff your reroll or your roll to save them at the end of the expedition, the first one would automatically be saved. But say he didn't want to bring Lewis. Maybe Igor said, okay, what's the fourth option on the list? Is we're rich. So you would get 1d10 tokens of renown. So let's say I rolled that because I like my options. So I'm going to roll my tokens of renown, 1d10, and let's say he rolls a 6. So now he's got 6 more. So now Igor is sitting on a nice fat stack as he has created his character. He's got all these doubloons that he could choose to use however he wants. And really, when you start, the only way to spend them on is on getting Village Guardsmen. So let's say he spends 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tokens of renown, and then he gets 9 Village Guard all stacked up next to him. He wants to just spend all of his doubloons, all of his tokens of renown. And so now he's leading 9 Village Guard. And that is how you create a character in this Heroes of Hobbyton game. Every month, let's say Igor decides to continue to be a supporter of Warboss Tay Studio, every month your character would gain 1 token of renown. So he's down to 0. Next month rolls along, his payment to Warboss Tay Studios, his donation goes through, so he gets a token of renown. Now, he could play this game called Heroes Luck. And when you play Heroes Luck, you can gamble your token by rolling 1d10. On a result of a 1, your token is lost. Additionally, if you have more tokens of renown, 1d6 of them are lost. So if he didn't spend all of his tokens on Village Guard, Igor could have gotten this, gambled it away, lost his token, and then lost even more. So that's not good. On a roll of a 2 to 6, his token is still lost, but there's no further loss. He just doesn't get his token for the month. On a roll of 7 or 8, he keeps his token, nothing else happens. On a roll of 9, he keeps his token and he rolls he gets 1 more token, so he gets 2. And on a roll of a 10, his monthly token is gone, but he gains 1d10 tokens. So let's say he rolled a 10. Very, very lucky Igor. He loses his monthly token, but let's say he maxed out and got 10 tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now he's sitting on a stack of 10 tokens of renown. He's got 9 Village Guard with him. And now he decides, okay, you know what? I am going to go out for one of these expeditions. And that is where we're going to see you in the second video, where we're going to talk about the expeditions in Heroes of Hobbyton.